like until you get here, you know? And you hear a lot of press, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
I feel the need to see it while there's an opportunity to see it before it changes one way or the other.
There's got to be a positive side, there's got to be a safe side to it. You know, there's only one way to find out, is go to the place, see it for yourself.
After traveling the world for a year, Justin and I, we were charged with a whole new energy.
As I got further away from my old life, I started to realize that this is where I need to be. This is now my lifestyle.
One day, I hope to say that I've seen the world, but that day is not here yet. Sri Lanka is a war-torn country. It's a country that's been at civil war for the better part of 25 years now. Our decision to come here is based on the fact that we want to see the country outside of what makes the news. A country that people live daily lives in and out of all the time.
We're gonna leave Colombo. We're gonna head up and into the highlands and hopefully to this ancient rock temple called Sigiriya. It's gonna be probably a few hours. The best way for us to get there is to hop on a bus and enjoy the ride. There, is that our bus?
What's your name, guy? Give me a hand. Okay, yeah, now. Lift him.
How you doing? Oh, handshakes don't last that long, thank you.
Well, let's go on this one here. We'll go this one or that one?
The one that's going to Dumbella.
Good. Okay, bye.
We traveled a couple hours to the northeast inland from Colombo. We've stopped just outside of the town of Dambulla, one of the triangle corners of the ancient cities. Here, we're just starting to ascend the steps to the cave temples.
These guys here, they're pretty vicious looking, and we've been told that they'll come and bite you. They got pretty nasty looking fangs on.
Oh, keep our distance. Have no interest in getting into fisticuffs with a monkey.
These guys are business.
This has been a Buddhist temple for well over 2,000 years now. 100 years before Christ, there was a king at the time who took refuge in here, and after he regained power, he wanted to show thanks to the monks who gave him solace here in these caves and turn them into really extravagant cave temples.
The religion is very, very potent throughout the whole countryside. And being in Sri Lanka, obviously, we're going to see a lot more of this as we travel throughout. As we go from country to country, not only does the landscape change, the people change, but so does the religion.
This being a Buddhist temple, I'm trying my hardest to not have my back towards the image of Buddha, but it's pretty difficult because there's so many statues in here of Buddha.
If you're a real die-hard traveler, you really want to take in as much as you possibly can. You go to a country, you respect the customs and you respect the religion.
The reason I wanted to come to Sigiriya in the first place is that it's widely considered to be an eighth wonder of the world. You wouldn't miss the pyramids of Giza, you wouldn't miss the Great Wall of China. So why would you miss an opportunity like this one?
It's all up in the air. No one really knows what this is. It could be a fortress, it could be a palace, it could be a monastery.
As we were driving closer to it, even last night we could see it from 20 plus kilometers away. And it's this geological wonder. It's a solid piece of magma that's the center core of an ancient volcano.
There's a sign here that says if you make too much noise, horns will attack you, so get it quick.
Given the size, if that is anything close to being accurate size, Those things are enormous. We are in serious trouble.
the size of his back.
About halfway up this enormous rock are these frescoes. And they look like they were painted, what, like 100 years ago or something maybe? They're 1,500 years old.
The reason why these ones are still up is because when the monks came here.
But these ones in particular are kind of what sparks that whole mishmash of theories that about what Sigiriya is or was and what it was built for. And these things, these paintings here are kind of a big reason for that, right? Because some people look at this and say, okay, well, as a Buddhist monastery, this is kind of one of those temptation kind of things, isn't it?
It's been bothering me of why they call this thing Lion Rock, like Sigiriya means Lion Rock. And up until this point, there's been no talk of lions, no visual of lions, until now it's kind of obvious. You see these two paws of the claws there.
At one point, there possibly could have been a head. So you actually walk into the lion's mouth and then take some sort of like old school elevator with ropes and pulleys to the very, very top. I feel pretty comfortable being here. There is a war here, but you can't believe everything you read and everything you see on the news.
This is the top of the rock. It looks like top of the world from up here.
And the cool thing is that they built this in like 7 years. And they said with all the technology we have now, it would take 14 years. You know, just because of the amount of slaves and the amount of people that were involved in building this.
So the view is not only beautiful, but it's practical. I mean, anyone who's going to be attacking you, you can see coming from miles and miles and miles around.
I think a lot of people come here to this country and that's all they focus on, and some people are deterred from that. We're not here to document the war, we're here to see the country.
We're at one of the biggest tanks being a man-made lake here in Sri Lanka. Everybody knows if you're gonna go fishing, you have to get up at the crack of dawn. In the interest of keeping with tradition, we're only having 3 people on the boat.
Just getting some fresh ingredients here. Some people back home have a little herb garden. These guys have a tree here full of coconuts. No ladder required, eh?
Now that the net's out, he's whipping this rock into the water to scare the fish into the net. I'm gonna end up throwing myself in the water.
Definitely a technique to getting these guys out of this tangled mess. Look at that. Not exactly a record size, but if we get some more of them, it's still breakfast. I think we've got enough fish now, enough tilapia to get us a bit of a breakfast. There you are.
Well, I'm the cook.
And get cleaning.
He's not even... No, that's still fisherman doing everything. Yeah, it is.
Pull this out. So just gut it like this. Now that they've been gutted, just rinsing them off, and there's a few that they're still picking guts out of, which is probably indicative of the ones that I did. I did 2 by the time they did about 30.
Somavati.
Sumamati.
S-O,
Sumamati.
M-O-A.
Sumamati.
Yes.
Sumamati.
Somavati.
Sumamati. Well, this lovely young lady has decided to help us out. Her name is Sumamati. I believe I said that right?
Yes.
Okay, got it correct. Woo! Here we go. We got salt, chili pepper.
Chili pepper.
Can we make this really, really hot? Like really hot? Like normal. You'd probably put like, you know, a cup of this, a cup of this. Let's put 2 cups of everything. The one we are making right now, what's that called? The dish that we're preparing? The one that we added like triple spiced?
It's fish curry. It's not a proper meal without spice or without a rice. So that's the Sri Lankan diet.
This is the top dog.
Make it caricature.
Whoa! There we go. Holding. Oh my god. That was seriously hot, man. That was hot. So the deal is, I get to cook Scott's meal. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and grind it up really fine. I got to experience the Sri Lankan pepper, and now he's going to... Does this make me a bad friend? Does it? I can feel it like burning my eyes.
Is that your specialty there?
Yeah. Normally
Fish.
it's yellow, but it's red.
It's very difficult to use spoon and fork and spoon for the Sri Lankan curries. So we have to use our fingers.
So I just mix a little of
Yes, you have to
everything.
mix.
And that's it? And then you start to eat? That's spicy. Thanks. Oh. Gets all over your lips and just... It'll get worse before it gets better. I think we've proven a certain point here that that Sri Lankan food is the spiciest food in the world.
Like, it's just birdie.
While we're coming down through central Sri Lanka, we heard about this Vedas tribe. And the Vedas are kind of the aboriginals of Sri Lanka. We've been on this dirt road, which is kind of rustic, for a few kilometers now. Ratna, the driver here, he knows where the Vedas tribe is, and the Vedas are the original inhabitants of Sri Lanka. These are the same direct descendants of those people. Nobody knows how to deal with the environment here better than these people do.
When we meet the chief, is there a certain way of greeting?
Yes, yes, of course. When you meet the chief of this tribe,
Yeah.
you have to keep your both hands to like this.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Do we say anything?
Yes. No. Yes.
Just
like
this.
that. Yes.
Hello.
All the way.
This man here is the chief, so we gotta get his permission first before we start traveling around the village.
See what of this culture still remains and what kind of things they still do. Is it okay to look around?
What would be the toughest challenge right now for the village, the tribe here?
After 1983, there are many restrictions to them from the government. Restrictions to go to inside the jungle, kill animals.
Is their area getting smaller and smaller every year?
Yes, because of the government restrictions.
Looks like the chief is a pretty well-respected guy across the country. You know, there's pictures of him here. Looks like some pretty important Buddhist figures as well. And this is kind of the soul of the country. These people were here before anyone else.
We've been trekking through the jungle for a bit here, and spots like this open up. It's really easy to walk around, but it can get pretty thick. Alright, we got a little competition here. They put up a little circle here. Me against you, Scott. Might be here for about 3 or 4 hours, or you might be done within one shot. Didn't even hit the tree.
Close.
That's pretty close.
Close. All you have to do is hit the tree. We're tied back up.
Tied up. He's gonna show us how it's done. Watch this. he's a little bit nervous.
These people for thousands of years have been hunter-gatherers.
Looks like they're trying to start a fire.
Close.
Ooh, that was close.
And then all of a sudden, despite having survived for thousands of years like that, the government steps in and says, you now can no longer hunt X, Y, and Z animals. Today they were showing us a demonstration of how they would hunt and the methods they would use. And it was kind of sad once they're completely absorbed into the rest of Sri Lanka around them. You know, everyone's going to wish they had been able to see this.
Till they are like to live with nature. They love to this jungle and they love to the nature because their lifestyle is depending on this nature and surrounding area.
I feel really lucky to have been able to come out and see the Vedas, the last remaining of the original inhabitants to this island.
A couple years from now, this may not be around, and you know, I find myself really lucky that we do get to see this stuff.
Thank you very much. Just arrived in Kandy, which is one of the largest cities in the whole country. So it's a good hub to be able to try to catch a ride for the rest of our trip. We're hoping to be able to find a way to carve up over the highlands and down to the south coast. Our best bet is to try to find at least a way to Nuwara Aurelia, which is the next major town.
No deal. Okay, it's a deal. Let's get a game plan. Let's get a game plan.
You're the dealer.
And the place we're going to is pronounced properly.
Nuwara?
Nuwara?
Nuwara.
Nuwara?
Aurelia.
Nuwara Aurelia.
2.
2. That's actually pretty good. That's like $30. 30 bucks. Oh, he's like 3 people. Actually, he's coming too. So 3 people. This is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were looking at $100.
Master of the deal.
Wow.
That is a good deal, though.
That is.
But
Can we go lower? Can we bring it
that's
down?
it. Should we go with the first offer?
No. No deal. No deal. No deal. I feel so bad because it is a good deal. People too friendly here.
Maybe we should just go for it.
I don't know about you, Howie, but I think I'm gonna take the deal.
Try to load this thing up.
Not only am I good at getting good deals, I'm good at packing vehicles. The journey begins.
Well, we suspected that this tuk-tuk with the 3 of us in it was going to have some struggles getting up the hills. They're not only steep hills, but they're windy too.
mountain, so we figured before we roll into town, might as well get this little rickshaw cleaned. So Scott's giving it a little bit of a bath. You're doing a pretty good job, Mr. Wilson.
All we gotta do is find another rag and you can help. They're hard to come by.
They are hard to come by. As you make your way through the mountains, there's these beautiful tea fields. Would you say this is the best tea in the world?
Oh dear.
Yeah?
Yeah, Sri Lanka.
The best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't it interesting that every time you go somewhere, it's like, these are the best oranges. You know what I mean? Whatever country it is, it's like, this is the world's best.
As the sun comes down over the mountains and it just lights up the side, and it doesn't just grow in clumps and bunches, they've been able to carpet the hillside. I think we should have some of the world's best tea.
When you first look at Adams Peak, you realize it's a pretty tall mountain. I think this is gonna be like our biggest challenge of the trip.
Anyone who's tried to climb a lot of stairs knows how painful that can be after a while.
It's looking pretty intimidating at this point.
Despite what kind of religion or ethnicity they are, everyone still shares this as a goal, as a pilgrimage. You know, it's a holy place, it's a respected place.
In order to do it properly and to give it justice, you have to be there for sunrise. So that means you have to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning to climb this thing. We rested yesterday, we got a rest. Now it's time to do this hike, this climb, this pilgrimage.
We're doing it the right way? Nimal?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna take us to the top?
Yes.
Make sure we make it there?
Oh yeah, we have energy enough. We can go up.
They call it Adam's Peak because Muslims and Christians believe that there's a footprint at the top of this that represents the footprint of Adam, like Adam and Eve.
Steps.
How many steps?
5,200 steps.
5,200.
Yes.
Wow, it's quite a few steps.
No. 5,199. 5,198.
No, you're gonna count. Stop counting.
Adam's Peak encapsulates every person in Sri Lanka, be them Sinhalese, Tamil, Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, Muslim, it doesn't matter. Everybody kind of reveres Adam's Peak.
Good. Oh, Sri Lanka. Your country? Where? Your country?
Canada.
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 My country, Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka is very nice country, no?
Yeah.
I like your gloves.
It's okay. You are Buddhist? I'm Muslim.
Muslim.
Muslim. Oh, very good.
What's the deal with the coin and the ribbon?
We wish for the gods. He have to help us to go up and come back here. Then we giving back him lucky band.
We wear this for good luck all the way up.
Oh, yeah.
And then when we come back, we put it up on there.
I got it on the left hand. Is left okay or bad luck?
Okay.
Bad
Oh, it's okay.
Bad luck.
I
You ain't
think
gonna make it.
I'll trust the Buddhist on this one.
You ain't gonna make it.
I'm not gonna take any climbing tips from a guy who wore jeans up a mountain. Shall we do it then?
Yes, we can go up. All right.
So what's the process here?
This little kit, and it has incense in it,
Yeah.
and a needle and thread.
You can find incense now.
Okay.
A couple more items here in this little kit.
This is
Piece of
stick.
metal. Stick?
You have to put it needle in there. These things you have to climb up.
So what's that supposed to symbolize?
You can say for the long life.
Well, let's do the string here, even though I'm not supposed to live long.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
smallest
That's
eye of a
marvelous.
needle I've ever seen.
Round it like this.
So I'll put it back through. And you
Then
take the
you
string.
have to put like this for the knee.
Okay.
And
Just walk.
Oh, I don't have a knot in mine. I lost like 4 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It broke. It broke.
Since we've had a bit of a break, I think we're a bit revitalized. Here we've got nice, shallow stairs all the way up, and it feels really easy. But we're probably well into the last quarter of the trip now, and it's only going to get worse.
It's starting to get really steep at this point. Obviously, as you get closer to the summit, it just gets steeper and steeper.
The light's coming. We actually timed this out.
Sorry,
Guess that's the top.
public service announcement. We have license plate number 64A39. Your headlights are on.
Oh, are you kidding me? Couldn't have timed it more perfect. We've got the most amazing light coming up, especially from this height. There's really nothing else in the way from where we are. So you can just see the black contour of the land, and then every color of the rainbow already starting this red and yellows and oranges and these rusty colors. You get to the top of Adams Peak, and you see everyone who's up there is sharing that same moment. Nature putting on its most amazing displays. A good crowd of people here, and on the way up we experienced that there were Muslims coming up, there were Buddhists coming up,
Yes.
there were Christians coming up. This is the bell.
This is official.
This will mark the top. Why don't you start? You got your ring on. You have the honor here,
Oh,
Mr.
merci.
1,000 times.
ah,
Got a little style there.
We're now making our way south towards the southern coast of Sri Lanka, and before we get there we want to stop at Udawalawa National Park, which is really well known for elephants, Indian elephant. In order to know what the heck we're looking at and get a bit of information and be able to spot these things properly, we've got Nimal with us. Nimal, you're from the national park?
Working here there under 10 years.
Looks like we got our first customer. A lone Asian elephant just sitting in the road up here. So is this a male or a female?
This they are in the male. Male is the alone. Female in the group. They are in the small babies are here.
The males pretty much roam by themselves. Will the male stay with the female all through birth, like all the way up until she gives birth, or does he just mate with them and just take off? Hit the road. He's like, I'm out of here. I like the single life too much.
We've heard a lot about how protective elephants can be if they're young. And here's a really good example of it because the adults have the baby squished right between them. And obviously they know we're here. And they're still just trying to munch, keep a close eye on us.
He wasn't taking any guff from us.
And they not only protected the baby over here and watching us closely, then they crossed right in front of us. And as soon as they moved across, still they weren't sure of us. So then he was convinced that everything was okay. just stopped. It's the heat of the day. Sun's high. It's hot. Most of the elephants are hiding. Squirrel isn't normally that crazy to see, but this is a giant squirrel, and literally a giant squirrel. He just grips on with his little claws. It's kind of like, ow! This is probably the safest way to get an up-close look at wild elephant. Trying to figure out how much it weighs. 70 some odd pounds or so. There's a huge monitor lizard that's just come out of the river here. He's already starting to hiss, so he knows we're here. I just can't get over the size of him. He's this big in front of you, and then you see how much of that tail is hidden. Let's go. Now that the sun's starting to come down, the heat's dying off, the elephant herds are starting to come back out of the woodwork, and they're actually going to head towards another water source. So we're going to see how close we can get. There's a herd right up here.
So what happened here looked like one of the males came over looking to pick a fight.
This one, then the two males there. Two males there, and some trying to attack for him.
Just a small one, but he's really curious. He's trying to figure out.
Yes, this one there, and this one here. Ah.
Will he charge when we leave?
Here he comes. This young female got in incredibly close. Her by herself can't make a heck of a lot of danger, but she can very easily start to draw in the attention of the other much bigger females of the area. It's one thing to be in the city and see them slightly domesticated, but there's nothing like seeing animals, wild animals, in their habitat.
We spent the last couple of weeks in the highlands and in the interior of Sri Lanka, and it's nice to be back on the coast again. See the blue water, the palm trees, feel the breeze. Justin's off doing God knows what, just exploring the town, and I'm just gonna get a little R&R.
This kind man has welcomed me in here. It's supposed to represent some sort of hell. And you can see these statues and paintings and stuff like. He's locking me in. Oh, that's just a bad sign. I'm taking that this guy's the devil, and these people are all paying for what they've done. This is the afterlife, and so far what I see is just like fire and brimstone. Is this all paintings and stuff? Oh my God. If you don't follow the path to enlightenment, I'm assuming these are the things that could happen to you. This guy looks like he's killing animals. Because the guy he's getting this thing shoved in his throat. It just goes on and on and on. Some of them I really don't understand, because this one looks like this guy's just helping this monk move. He's like, oh, here, I'll help you move. I'll move your fridge, move your clock. Result, going to hell, I can get burned. If I had to put a check mark beside some of these, I wouldn't say I filled this this whole walkway, but there'd be a couple here I'd have to check off. Pay my landlord. We'll put a couple checks on that. Burning in hell, getting eaten by dogs. This looks like they're fishing. Check that off. Consequences, birds gonna be gouging away your body. That's not good. You guys see an opportunity when you can. He opened up the gate, so it's best off I make my way out of here before we're stuck here. Oh, there's number 2, check. Fishing, check. I think we should really get the heck out of here.
While we're down here on the south coast, we get a chance to see a couple of different industries, and one of them is toddy.
But in order to get, you have to climb to the very top of the tree, and you need to, have the kahunas to do it.
And Shriyanga, you live in the villages around here, right? And
Yes,
you've seen this before? You've seen this process before? So
Yes.
Has he ever fell?
He has fell down one time.
Oh, wow.
It's a very dangerous job. Wow, this is the man to prove it. He's got all the scars.
He just walked right up like it was a ladder.
It's a tough job, man. This is not easy at all. I thought, yeah, maybe I'll try doing this. No, not anymore.
It takes a lot of guts, eh? There's 2 palm trees that are connected by coconut rope. And now he's, instead of coming down, walking, 25 feet over to the base of the next palm tree and going up, he's crossing like a tightrope, basically. I gotta try this out. He just makes it look so easy, and I don't think it is. I don't trust any of this stuff. I can't do it. I just don't have the kahunas. It's the idea of trying to come back down that freaks me out.
Well, sir, how much sap did you collect?
Zip. We just come down by the river here with some fresh toddy. We're all gonna have a sample. This is as fresh as it gets. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. Thanks to your hard work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Be safe. Be safe. This is the hot lava being poured down my throat because of this drink. This guy's drinking it.
It's really sharp, eh?
Bird in my stomach, that's for sure.
Coconut water and vinegar.
Cheers. Cheers.
We're leaving Hikkaduwa and heading to Colombo. This marks almost the end of our journey. Hopefully, if we play our cards right, we're going to get back to Colombo in time for this big full moon festival, which is a Buddhist festival, but apparently the entire city shuts down and everyone of all religions and denominations come out to experience it.
We're just pulling into Colombo again, back to the big city. You can see there's a beautiful coastline all the way up, and then now it's starting to be that urban sprawl everywhere. You can tell we're back in the big city. But we have a new mission.
That was a nice ride, actually.
This is where I get off, huh?
You know you're someplace strange when the city park in the middle of the capital city is filled with elephants.
And tonight there's going to be a big parade, and they're all invited.
It's a festival for the full moon of February, so this is one of the biggest ones of the year, Navam Perahura. And lucky enough that we're here for it. And they're clearly gearing up. I mean, you could tell that something was going on. Like anyone would take a bath before their big night out, so too do the elephants. Wow, you really have to dig in there.
Yeah.
Okay. We're using these coconut husks because they're abrasive, and I guess they scrub quite well, don't they?
Wash you down a little bit here.
He's dirty.
Yeah, good.
We're gonna wash him.
What do you say? Say please.
A lot of activity, lots of people here. As soon as the sun starts to go down, this thing is really gonna start moving. I've never been put to shame for a dress code by an elephant before. People all the time, but an elephant, yeah.
We're moments away from this thing really kicking off. The streets are lined with people.
Now you really get a sense of how big of a deal this is and how many people want to come out and see this thing happen.
And as it gets going, it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's a wrap all the way around and then end here. So
I feel like a kid waiting for the Santa Claus parade, you know, to come
there's
by.
Santa on his big elephant.
Having now seen the country of Sri Lanka, it's actually a real shock for me to think back about what images I had of Sri Lanka coming in.
If you have a parade anywhere, there's drums involved. It doesn't matter what side of the earth you're on. But to have the Chennai, no mistaking what region of the world I'm in, you know.
We were kind of nervous on coming here just because of the war that was going on here, but we wanted to see what this country is about, and I think we did. And to end it all here at this party, everybody's spirits are up and everybody's happy. That's the kind of energy we felt throughout the whole trip. It's a great way to leave the country. That's the whole thing I like about traveling is every day you see something that's gonna blow your mind away. Every time I do something spiritual, every time I do a climb, I'll walk away from it a different person with a different outlook on life. I've never seen anything like this.
We've been in the middle of this thing for coming up on a couple of hours now, and it just won't stop. It just keeps coming and coming and coming.
Plus, they got golden elephants.
On a world map, Sri Lanka is a dot in the middle of the Indian Ocean. And yet at the same time, it has a very rich culture for such a small place. One of the things that keeps its culture so rich is this amazing mix of religion. And you get to experience a lot of that just traveling around.
That was impressive.
We're up to sounding, so that means the show's over.